No, it's like 2 weeks still though. All right, let's get into this. You have the VOD view open, right? And everything.
Yeah, the visor.
Yeah. Okay. Is it playing?
I just needed heals there.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Both of us were down though.
Yeah, I know.
Hurry's out.
Okay.
Alright. Pull back, guys.
Pulling back.
Alright, you guys ready? We're gonna speed boost in here.
Hang on, right now, I'm touching.
Ready?
Set.
3,
Watch out, trap,
2,
trap.
1.
Ryan low, Ryan low, right
Run
down.
down.
Diva.
Healers are on the right side.
I'm on Diva.
Diva, Diva.
Alright, so this is
Nice.
fine. You're all
Sombra's over there too.
Diva down.
with the fire. Should I
Alright,
get
I'm
okay?
touching point.
Junkrat.
I'm touching point. Junk on point.
I'm dead.
Junking Ana.
Any heals?
Got you.
Yep.
Sombra at Mega.
Curry on Mega.
Sombra on Mega.
Junk's behind building.
Why is this trying to
So
cheat?
expect a hack.
Stay closer to
So
the
yeah, you're
health
doing
path.
fine right now. So
Alright,
when
they're all
like the
falling
shields,
out.
you know,
Let's see if we can
you
stagger
already
this
have
jump.
a
Alright.
point. There's no need
Yeah,
to
push on.
do
Diva
anything.
top right.
Ryan is
So
shattered.
now,
Ana's
Let's
up
see
there
this
too.
now.
Right?
EMP
as well.
This is where it gets rough. I don't think we take this point.
Charging.
I'm hacked.
Yep.
that's a good charge.
Somebody translocated.
Sombra's
Watch out for
healthy.
EMP.
Awesome.
I got 2 down.
Okay, so
Alright, no ults, no
here,
ults.
I'm gonna go back like
Oh.
for one. Fucking pause.
let's
For one,
see.
5 seconds. Okay. All right. So you did like the pin and everything fine, but
Charging.
going for
Yep.
a shatter,
Back.
especially when you're like this,
Sombra's
like
healthy.
okay, so you see it, but then you move your whole freaking cam like downward stuff, and you're not. There's people on your left and there's people on your right. So pretty much the only thing you're probably gonna shatter is probably the Ryan. So there's you already know you're purpled. You're about to die. So shattering is honestly gonna get you next to no value. It's better off if you try and set up the shatter like when you're live, so you can actually get like the damage onto it. Because in 2 CPs, especially on this map, you have to trade like 1 to 3 so you have a chance at capping the point, unless somebody just completely pops off, right? So when you're low like this,
Yep.
and you're purple,
Somebody-
there's no way you're gonna get healed.
Sombra's healthy.
Just throwing out the shatter is kind of one of those things that you would do on your final push, not on a
My guess
push
is that
you're-
was a panic ult, to be honest.
Okay, understandable, but still, you kind of gotta want to try not to do those.
Yeah.
But like whenever you're purple, you're getting low and stuff, try not to use ults, just because there's a good chance of you dying, and then once you actually regroup, get full HP, then it's better to you can try and come back and then use those ults in those certain situations.
I got 2 down.
So you still got value out of it, but
Alright, no ults, no ults.
Oh.
yeah, your team ended up getting
Good
one
work.
because they have no follow up.
Nice.
We got 4 ults out of them there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, good
I
work.
was hitting Q
That was
as you
good.
called it.
No, it's fine. We're good.
Yeah, no,
We
we're
gave
good.
up Shatter and
We're fine.
Coalescence for
That's fine.
They have grab
everything.
dragon too.
Yeah.
Nice, so now you have
Alright, I'm gonna fall
grab
back so this Ryan
Hanzo,
can't farm me.
but we'll see.
There's also
Yeah,
a junk
actually-
top right.
Get that off.
Alright, we're good?
No, I was hoping you'd walk into it.
I did.
No.
Okay.
We're gonna do grab dragon team start.
Sombra behind.
Alright.
Sure doesn't get eaten.
I have this tendency
Good pick.
where I play main tank a little too peel-like.
Yeah, I was watching honestly, I've done this before, but really it's you're not really, it's not
Sombra
not
behind.
the greatest habit, because you're not really gonna catch up to her. You like a single Genji or a Lucio could just push her out, because then you're not really watching what's ahead of you, so they could have just rushed in all the way on top of your team. So there's not really you just have to trust your your backline or your
Off tank.
DPS just to do that, just let them know that Sombra's behind, and then somebody will peel it while you're still trying to set up in the front, because I think your Hanzo is already freaking up here, or somebody's up in these 2 spots, so they've already pushed in without you, and this isn't really helping your team being all the way back there, just knowing you're never going to get a kill on that Sombra. But let's see. the next push because you do have this pick. Yo, Matt, thanks for the 15 months, dude. That is a freaking long ass time. Can I get some monkey spam in the chat? Freaking Matt. How you been, bro? All right. Let's see here.
Good pick. Let's go in.
Nice pick.
Eggs.
Go.
All right, so you got the grab. Grab Ponzo. That's good.
Honestly.
I have D.Va.
Bomb, bomb,
D.Va's
bomb.
calling me.
That's fine. Definitely bomb.
Then
Zen's one shot. You got him.
Front of point.
I'm gonna beat. Shit.
So you're doing everything fine here. So like the main thing with you did it right, but okay, so you never really want to like chase off of points, especially when it's on like UCP. You always want to just fight. Because I know I've seen some people, you know, you go off the point to try and like, you know, get somebody that's slow and stuff. But you did it right by staying on the point and just playing point. You know, unluckily that they got a freaking Junkrat tire there. But there's nothing really you can do unless if you hurt it, then you can try and save your Fire Strike for.
Shit.
Okay. So yeah, if you're listening to the sound cues, you could try and save, you know, Fire Strikes every time for, you know, those type of things. But that's just kind of one of those, you know, in the moment you don't really pay attention to. So I mean, other than that, you did everything fine. You always want to try and play point and never chase off point to get kills, even if it's just like somebody's one hit. There's no reason to. So that was kind of just
Down. Oh, for fuck's sake.
they had a good ultimate there.
Can we get one
It's
tick
fine,
here,
it's fine, it's
Connor?
fine.
We got it.
Did we get a tick?
Nope, that's
No,
it. That's
no,
it.
we didn't.
Pull out.
Nice work. That was a good push, guys.
Yeah.
I just didn't have Fire Strike there. Just feels bad, man.
Who's starting at the lobby?
Bear,
Didn't
I
have
think.
Fire Strike. No, I just used it.
Alright, it's on quick.
No, oh,
Ready?
Yeah, it is on quick play.
Let's go.
So
Sound
right.
back. He's low.
Gosh.
I've noticed I just switched
Yeah,
from
what's going on,
off tank
Lucio?
to main tank in the last like month
Never
or
good.
so.
Yep, I'm
so
here. I'm here.
Yeah,
it's
and
bad
we going?
healing habits.
I was just trying to get this D.Va on the
Yeah,
background here.
eventually you'll, you know,
Charging break.
and all that stuff, but it's still not a bad idea to have
She's in the left
healing
wing
habits,
here.
especially if you're playing Monkey. It's just with Reinhardt, you're not really going to get much value out of it, you
I'm
know?
with you, Kim. I'm with you, Kim.
D.Va's in health pack room.
Curry's low. Shit. Never mind.
Alright, so for here, you know, they nanoed Ryan, they pushed in, but this is just from, like, you know, top 100 type stuff is you're not saying, you know, what
She's in the left room here.
abilities, like, okay, when Ryan, you know, charged in and everything like that, you could, you know, you could have communicated your team like, hey, like, you know, Ryan charged your backline, you could just have everybody turn around and like focus on it because he has 0 escapes and he just charged your whole entire team. So right now you're being like completely quiet. I don't think
D.Va's in health pack room.
nobody's, you know, really calm or
Very
whatever.
low.
Even if people know, you know, they see that Ryan, it's better just to be like, yo, Ryan charge, like kill Ryan, everybody focus on, like, you know, you're getting kind of low, like, hey, you know, heal me, kill Ryan, stuff like that. Because with people without their movement abilities are pretty much usually free kills, and you just need everybody to be focusing, like, you know, the same target, even if it hasn't been called, but everybody's still focusing. It's still better to call it so everybody knows like 100% that's what they should be focusing on and not doing anything else. So I don't know, make sure when you know like everything that's, you know, going on, and just get in a habit of just, you know, calling targets as, you know, the main take, so everybody will get used to like hearing your voice and will listen to it and like switch off whatever they're trying to do.
We're having our off support call targets.
Yeah, see that it's not a good habit, especially if you want to go to higher ranks, because that in higher ranks your off, like, you know, your off support is always going to be hiding from, you know, like Sombra, Doomfist, stuff like that. So maybe like at this level, I guess it can work, but it's not going to get you anywhere because you're not going to develop as a main tank player, not calling targets, and it's not going to get your off support anywhere, because if they're calming like that in a higher up team, they're gonna just get yelled at for, you know, clustering comms and saying useless stuff because somebody else is going to be calling the targets. And if you have 2 separate people calling targets, people are going to be split, and, you know, that's not good. You always want to have everybody focusing the same target, even if it's the wrong target. At least everybody's doing dumb shit together, and then you have a better success rate if everybody's still doing dumb stuff together, you know. So like I would just, you know, ask or say to the team like, hey, you know, can we try and change it up for like a scrim block or you know, whatever, because it's not going to get you guys anywhere having the roles mixed, especially in like if you guys are all have the same plan of trying to go higher up.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Never mind.
Anyone have
Backing
heals?
out. Backing out. Backing out.
We're super split. How come
Did we lose anyone?
Yep. No, not yet.
All right, charging in.
That was a risky charge.
Diva.
Yeah. So this like goes back to my whole, you know, when I'm trying to like do like charges, you want to try and like, okay, so if you let's just say, you know, this is like, you know, the choke point. It's okay to charge from like here, you know, to here to those like type corners, or from here to that little box. You never really want to charge like, you know, all the way straight down, because you're leaving yourself vulnerable and you're getting way too far from your team. So let's just see like how far, you know, you
Not yet.
charging
Alright.
everybody, your
Charging
whole
in.
team's all the way, you know, at the entrance, and now you're at the middle point. So there's no way for them to you know, to protect you whatsoever. So it's better just to, you know, walk up slowly, you know, you're slowly taking space, especially with Ryan. You don't need to charge all the time. You can just, you know, swing your hammer and, you know, do fire strikes and stuff. You only really want to charge if it's in those, you know, short distances here, you know, you going just straight down is not like the best habit to get into. Like if you hit the charge, then yeah, you know, you make the play and your team wins. But if you miss it, you pretty much gonna, you know, set yourself up to that. Like I don't know if you die here, but I'm gonna guess that
Diva.
probably not in the best of positions.
Gonna ult.
I'm down.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So pretty much by you doing that, like you can't even see that Ryan. So those in for their Ryan just to turn around and choke and then pin you backwards, he's going towards their whole team. So, you know, he's getting the most value out of, you know, everything. And even if you wanted to do, you know, this shatter play, I don't know if you said you were going to
No, not yet.
All right,
shatter.
charging in.
You got armor?
Diva.
Okay. So yeah, you went for the Ana, you know, that's, you know, totally fine. But for one, you didn't even communicate that you're going to try and use your shatter. So if you want to use your shatter going into the fight, you always want to communicate like, okay, I'm going to look for shatter this fight. So then, you know, other teammates know to look to follow up on it. Or if it's, you know, an ult that they don't have to like, you know, stack ults. So if you're going to shatter, you're not going to try and grab Hanzo, you know, on top of that. So you don't use both ults at the same exact time, right?
Yeah.
So you always want to let your team know when you're going to be using these like abilities, and especially if it's an ultimate. And yeah, just don't get in the habit of charging super deep. Just slowly walk up, you know, and take space. So let's see.
Gonna ult.
I'm down.
DV max.
We're playing way too split yet.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
Like,
are.
Brittany
that
and
was
I were-
partially.
All right. So another thing, just for this is not super important, but since you are the first one to die in the fight, it's still good since everybody else is focusing on, you know, their own type of thing. Since you're dead, you can be being like, hey, we're down 1, we're down 2. So, or and if you get a pick back, okay, you're down 1 again. So that's just something that since you're dead first, you can be communicating with your team. So then more ults don't get wasted. If, you know, because some people, you know, get in the moment and, you know, they're fragging out, but it's like 1v4 and then they'll use like a grab or something because they thought everyone was still up. So since you're dead first, you get in the habit of just saying like how many people are down, or if you're paying attention because nothing else, you know, you're just holding shield or something, just letting your team know, looking at the kill feed of like what the score is, you know, 1-1, 2-2, you know, 3-3 type stuff like that. But that's like not super important, but that's just one of those side things that you can get to working on like at like a later date. But yeah.
Fault there too. I should have.
Alright, back out.
Can you speed out?
Yes.
We're essentially playing Ghost, so we need to stick together.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah. I didn't realize we switched to Brig. Can you call that next time, please?
I did.
Oh, he did? I didn't hear it, my bad.
Too quiet. Nah, it's
Yeah,
good.
it's all good.
So the Brig's for the.
Alright, let me
We're playing Ghost, so we need to stick
get to
together.
the
Yeah, yeah.
comp. Okay. All right. So I want you to explain, what do you think is your win condition in this fight compared to what their combo is. Like, what are your strengths compared to what their strengths are? Like, what are you trying to look to do with this? Like, what do you think is the best idea?
As of, well, not right now, but we're close to Grav and Dragons, and that's definitely a win condition. But you need to kill the Zen first.
Okay.
And you can't have the Sombra harassing the backline either.
So then when you go up to take, these Rein versus Rein fights, like, who do you think is, going to win these like engagements based on just team comp alone? Unless somebody makes like a hero play.
Generally, I think my team comp should win the Rein v Rein because the whole team comp's like centered around supporting a Reinhardt and Zarya.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's like right because they have a diva, whatever. I don't know, this comp is really weird unless like these two are just like diving together. But so based on like what your team comp is, you can bully their Reinhardt as much as possible, and that's what you should be communicating like to your team. So instead of you doing like going up and like looking for like a pin or something like that, that's something that you should always be hitting tab and looking for like what team, if they swap team comps, and you should be thinking about how your team comp like outplays theirs, right? So if you're paying attention, you just press tab, look at this like while you're walking back, and then you'll notice that since they have a diva and you have a Zarya, plus you have the Brig with you, you can be like, okay, let's push up and let's just bully the Rein. So you can look for a free stun on top of the Rein, and then that's when you can get your pin on the side of the wall, or since you have bubble, you can be like, hey, bubble me, I'm just gonna swing on Rein, because they legit have nothing to protect their Rein from you guys just pushing up and bullying him every single time. Because you have the bubble, you have the stun, you have the combos, you can combo a stun and Hanzo Storm Arrow. That's what people do at like the high ranks, because you pretty much just instantly melt a Reinhardt. Plus, if you get like the swings and stuff like that off, then you're pretty much gonna insta kill the Rein almost every time. So just go before you get into like every fight, just seeing like knowing and remembering like what your win condition is compared to what they're trying to do. Because the only thing for their comp that they're trying to do is, I think they're just trying to get their Sombra to somehow get a hack on either you. That's probably like the only thing, because since you have the Lucio Moira, Sombra's not going to be able to kill either of those, and they don't have another dive DPS. So you should be able to just push in, bully the Rein, and as long as you're staying grouped and if they're listening to you, which goes back on the target calling, everybody needs to be listening to you and not somebody else, because you're one of the highest like damage dealers for like this comp, other than doing the combos for the Hanzo. So everybody needs to be like listening on like what's in your range to be able to like focus up on.
Yeah.
I didn't realize we switched to Brig.
So let's go see what you do for this next.
Can you call that next time,
Engagement.
please?
I did.
Oh, he did? I didn't hear it, my bad.
Be quiet. Nah, it's
Yeah,
good.
it's all good.
So the Brig's for the curry.
Oh,
Alright, let's just go full
Alright.
golds then. Goats. Golds.
Yeah.
Already win.
Go.
We had Dragon though, which is kind of sad, but it's doesn't matter.
Okay, so yeah, so especially now that you swapped, I would have said to save, like, even if you're gonna like whoever like said swap, like you were close to Grav and you had like the Hanzo, so you could have done a free punch change. I think they just used trance that last fight too. I'm not 100% sure, but either way, since you had those ults, you have plenty of time on the clock. You have 3 minutes, so you want to be able to like exhaust your resources, especially if you get a Grav and then they trance, and then the next fight you just swap to goats and they have absolutely nothing, and you just bully like their whole team and push to point and win, right? So it's not really on you. I guess it's kind of, because you can just put in your your 2 cents. Like if you're about to swap comp, like no, we have Grav Hanzo, something like that. Like even if you're not like the final shot call, that's like the main support, you can. It's still better to voice, because some people aren't thinking straight at like 24/7 like in scrims, and they just need somebody to tell them like, oh yeah, you're probably right, let's look for that that type of combo, because a Grav Hanzo combo is really, really strong. So, but I mean, swapping
got
ghosts
everyone?
is still fine, but we'll see.
Not yet.
Go.
Yeah.
So in ghost comp, you're still not doing the target calls. You do them to the off support, or do they let you do target calls?
This scrim was like 3 or 4 weeks ago, So I'm not
Okay.
sure. I think this is when they were like, why aren't you target calling on goats?
Okay.
And I
But then they don't
think
want you to do it with any
after
other.
this, I started target calling on goats.
Okay.
Right
Alright,
side?
I see.
Far right or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
About right.
This Ryan's playing the corner here, so we can pinch him out.
Flashing?
Charging.
All right, so yeah, so going that right side is definitely a good way to go in for Ghost since you're not taking a lot of damage, and then how you're pinning is to like a corner. That's what you want, what you should be doing, because even though he survived and got out, you're not out far from your team, so
Yeah.
you still can have all the support whatsoever. Now they can give you bubble, they can give you heals, they can do any type of stuff. So those are like the only type of pins you really want to be looking for on 80% of the time. So.
You got armor?
I'm hatched.
Bring
Bring in our back. Bring in our back. Bring in our back.
Charged. Ryan's out of
Ryan,
position.
Focus brig.
We're not calling any targets.
Ryan.
Yeah, we need to. Ryan. Beat.
Nice, at least I'll put in more ults.
So reset.
So yeah, for especially with like goats, it's pretty much just on you, just yelling targets,
Mhm.
and then everybody just following up and like recalming the same exact one. So you did call in in the beginning with the engagement and all that stuff, and then you kind of just like quieted down. So especially just for like goats, you just need to just be high tempo, just
Mhm.
yelling into your mic, being
Anyone who's called.
as annoying as possible, but
No.
it works out, and that's like how goats is so strong.
Are you okay target calling,
Hey,
Brittany?
Joe, can you help me?
Or
Yeah.
actually,
I couldn't see.
No, Matt. If you can call targets,
I'll
because
call-
goats work through Ryan.
Yeah, Ghost is dependent on keeping our Ryan up.
We're gonna rally when we
We
push
can
in.
just swing.
Try and bait out the trance.
will do.
Yes.
Do you want me to trade Shatter for Trance?
No. I don't think that's what.
Just shatter
We're
the
not
Zen.
all here yet, guys.
Sombra.
Where's Sombra?
Alright,
Okay,
Alright.
okay.
good.
Alright, we're
Ready.
good. We're good.
Main.
Rally. Go straight to point.
Okay,
Take the
break
point,
Ryan.
take the
Break
point.
Ryan. He's low.
Ryan.
Even some.
Okay, so especially because now I see you have like the shatter up and you're still not trying to make shatter plays. You have a Brig and your shatter, right? They have a Diva and no Zarya. So there's 100% chance that you stun this big guy, right?
Mhm.
There's 0% chance that you actually don't get the stun or you miss it or whatever. So before the fight even started, since you should like look for that, and then every single time you have a shatter and a Brig, you try and set up the stun shatter plays, because there's almost zero counterplay to it. Because even if they have a Zarya, then you just push up to the round, and usually the Zarya is going to bubble around for energy, and then you just look for the stun afterwards. So since it's your ultimate, you have to be the one to set it up and call it. So that's what I'll just be looking for. Like next time, every single time you do have this shatter up and you have a Brig, try and set up the stun shatter plays. Just because you're gonna get 100% value. Even if you just kill the Rhine in this situation, killing the Rhine is still 100% value, even if it's just a solo shatter, and you ended up killing it, because then you have so much point presence, especially with goats. They have to touch point, and when they're all together on point and you're just holding mouse one because you have all the pocket, it's an insane amount of damage just coming out from the Rhine, and you'll usually win the fight anyways.
Yeah.
So just look for those type of engagements and stuff, trying to set up the ultimates.
Might as well
Can you
run
stun?
slow. Beat.
On Sombra.
I have nothing
There's
to
nothing
keep
else
myself up
you
here.
could have done there. EMP, it feels bad.
Alright.
Main tank is fun.
Let's swap this.
Let's try dive here.
I'm gonna go far.
Okay. Do you want me on Zen?
Yeah.
I really want to stay on Zarya here because they have no trance.
Oh yeah. Okay. Let's just use this grab here and
I'm just gonna use the grab because it could.
So your comp for goats is perfectly fine, against what they were running. So you guys are just playing a little bit sloppy. Swapping a dive still can work if you utilize high grounds and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And getting on the back supports, but just playing the goats, you could have worked if you were just looking for the certain combos for your ultimate abilities to get the full value out of them. But I mean, we'll see
Trance.
how this goes.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna go back Ryan then real quick.
60 seconds.
Because we won't have any follow-up
I am back to
on the
Ryan,
grav.
yes.
Let's use the grav
Lucky
preemptively.
Farah.
So if you see a Brig and a Ryan next to each other, grab them.
Alright.
Keep D.Va in mind though.
Southwest. Discorded.
Alright, now push this now.
Push.
I'm just laying into their shield.
I got
Big,
this as well.
big.
I have done.
Nice.
Nice. I bridge
Break
it.
it, break.
Big half.
I have D.Va on me.
All right. So this is also just one of those, I don't know,
I'm just
Push
laying
it.
into their
things.
shield.
But okay. So first you
I
got
got
Big.
this
the two in here. So I
Mhm.
just want to know, why were you not thinking about it, or why didn't you just charge the break while they're still in grav? Because you
Oh.
know if that it's gonna be like an insta kill where you just think you just like, you know, swing, do whatever, or
It's because the grav is on the center part.
you can
Big.
like, you know, jump up and do the
Mhm.
charges there, but just because usually whenever like, you know, people in their grav and you see like the squishy targets, even if they, you know, if they use the trance and you see squishy targets, you want to just like, you know, angle like, you know, charges and so like to get those kind of targets. So since you had the grabs and didn't have trance, you should be looking just to charge, you know, the targets that, you know, the big healthy targets or the targets that, you know, they're not going to kill, because then it's going to die 100% chance with or without you
Mhm.
swinging on him. So you should be spending your time like trying to set up a combo to get like the next person that your team might not be focusing on,
Yeah.
because they're going to be dying. The other guy's going to die 100%. So that's what you should be looking to do. You know, just swinging whatever, you know, is perfectly fine. It's still like, you know, you're still getting value out of it, but just to get like the most value, especially since you have your charge up, you didn't waste it. You should be looking and like thinking of, you know, ways like if you know you can get it. So since you didn't know you can get up there, that's fine. But for further evidence, yeah, you can do like, you know, jump charges. You can jump up like, you know, anywhere,
Mhm.
you know, where they're at. You know, if they're on top of a payload, you can just walk on top of the payload and then get them, since they can't do anything while they're in the grav.
I have done. Nice. I bridge
Break
it.
it, break.
Big half.
I have D.Va on me.
Focus Brig if you can.
I need heals.
I'm hacked.
Really bad.
I'm hacked.
Combos in the back.
Yeah. So then, for like target calling, you know, you're saying like, you know, focus brig, but it's not. It doesn't sound urgent. You should be like brig, like, you know, like repeating it like over and over, saying it like, you know, 3-4 times. Like that's kind of, if you listen to, it's not even like, you know, if I just do like pretty much like any, you know, main tank, off tank, you know, any like auto build player, you say the like target like multiple times. Because if you just say it once, it can get lost in comms.
Yeah.
So if you just say it like, you know, multiple times, like over and over and over again, everybody's going to be like, you know, trying to focus like, bro, let's like try and shut this guy up. What the heck? So they're all going to focus, you know, focus that next one, and then you just swap exactly the next one. Or if that guy gets away, you know, like, okay, swap, you know, D.Va, then
Mhm.
you know, D.Va's discorded, or swapping Ryan, something like that. So I just want to hear more like enthusiasm and like hear the target multiple times, and then if since everybody's together, like locations still, it's not like a huge point, but it's still good to get
Mhm.
in a habit of it. So just being like, you know, middle of point, left of point, something like that, like giving location of the target, even though if it is, you know, goats, like it's not that big of a deal. But if you get in a habit of it, then you know you're always going to be doing it no matter what, even if you swap to like the monkey comps and stuff.
Mhm.
I don't know how that hit me.
Alright.
We don't have time for a regroup.
Yeah.
I'm charging in.
Go hamster.
I'm switching back to Lucio.
I'm not gonna make it.
No.
We again had no targets called there.
Yeah.
I mean, there was target calls. It's just it wasn't as they just see it. See, you did call the targets. So that's that's the totally thing. You were calling targets. It's just you weren't saying it in like hype and like and that,
Matters,
and not
yeah.
seeing the target over and over. So where they think no targets were called, right?
Mhm.
So it's just, and then that makes you feel like shit, like, because you think to yourself, bro, I've been freaking calling targets, you know, all the time, because that used to happen to me when I was, you know, on like on a GM team when I first started, like I'd be like, oh, dude, no targets were called. And like, bro, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not going to try and bring it up, but I've been freaking calling targets. I've been doing like, all this stuff. And it's just because you weren't being like loud enough and saying the target like enough to where everybody like was realizing that you were calling targets, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that'll just save you, the troubles of you feeling that like, nobody's listening to you. Just if you say with a lot more like intensity, even if you don't say it a lot of intensity, just say the target like over and over and over again, and that'll just solve like all the problems.
And this is where the mod fucked up and set the scrim to quick play instead of comp.
Yeah, I saw that at the top. So I was like, oh, quick play. Whatever. That's still fine.
That's a nice tire.
So we go back in to
Nice tire.
defend.
Oh, that's a shame too, because we would have had that if it weren't for that tire.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely fine.
Alright, well, that's the last time I try to stream because my fucking.
On fire, that's a potential target call. Target you can call. So yeah.
Okay.
Miss Bree, you got it. Okay. Brittany, just relax, okay? All you have to do is just look at someone. Remember to hit tab if they're on fire. That's a potential target call. Target you can call. So yeah.
Okay.
Miss Bree, you got it. Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's Moira here. Not Mercy.
I don't know.
Chair machine.
Safety set up.
Wooden. It's a
Is
fucking
your
wooden
chair-
chair.
Nah, my chair has like levers and stuff to like adjust,
Mine has like a butt imprint.
Clear comms.
Yep. All right.
Also, I can only spectate their team. This is really sad.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Oh,
Oh,
to
it's
me,
because they
you
gotta
team.
set you that way.
Oh, Lamau.
Hey, you can tell us the comp.
Alright, talk about the game. I'm muting. Talk about the game.
Alright, so alright, what are we gonna do here? Shot caller?
I'm gonna hold the choke here. That's basically it. I mean, what else do you
I
want?
love that hog skin.
So good.
I'm gonna
So
wait
I'll
for it
call
to
my
start
pulls.
and then I'll
Brittany,
explain,
call your
like-
discords. If I pull someone,
Okay, we'll just start with this. First of all, you never want to stay this close.
Mhm.
This is like one of, like, you think this is a good spot, but so if they have like a Ryan comp or whatever, and then they go right here, you don't see them at all, and then they just speed on right to you, and there's nothing you can do about it. This is super slow, and they just get on top of you. Even if, like, so you always want to start back at the forklift since you're playing Orisa, because that lets you get value out of the hook. If they go like dive, because they have to push through the big opening, you can go from either like left or side, and if you place your orbs like here, and there's like a spot like over here, it actually like will pull people like over the top and like around. So you can like use this if they try and like LOS the Orisa pull.
Yeah.
And then it lets you, if they have, a Ryan comp, you have time to start kiting back and get set up like going on high grounds, or just like, rotating whichever way you need to. So playing up this close, you think it's good because you're not giving that much space, but it's not setting your team up to be able to like counteract whenever, if they like, bring something at you that you're not like realizing, if that makes sense.
try and discord it. I'm gonna go for a cheeky pull here.
They're coming left.
Yep.
They're left.
Left side.
I have
They're
Diva.
running goats. He's just pushing
I have
up.
Diva,
Ryan's
Diva,
low.
Diva, Diva.
Ryan's low.
I have Brian.
Survive.
Pulling back. Breaks down.
I have Daria.
Zarya hook. Nice.
So somehow you're
I have Lucia.
doing this,
Get the
but
baby,
Baby,
so
baby,
against, it's not going to work
I have
every
Lucia.
time, but
Yeah.
so exactly how, like I said, like since he had the Ryan comp, pretty much he just gets to push in right towards you at like without you being able to do anything. As Orisa, if they just push on you, the first target should just be like focusing you, and you're never probably going to be able to like live through this. So if you were playing back towards the forklift, okay, so why I'm gonna ask you, like, so why do you think you should play buff forward? Like, why does that help Orisa from you playing so far back?
Because she has the range damage to spam into the Rhine shield, so he loses the shield war.
Yeah, so like for Orisa, like if you can break Ryan's shield before they push through every single time, that's how you win. Like with Orisa, because then you have like the free hooks and all that stuff. So you always want to be positioning yourselves either like high grounds or far away from, you know, chokes. Like, you know, if this is the Icon Wall choke, you wouldn't be playing right after the bridge, right? You're gonna be playing at that, like, you know, that far, you know, by like the Bastion turret or whatever it is, like back there. So when they're pushing through, you're just getting all that free damage onto the Ryan shield and not letting him, you know, get towards you without his shield being broken. Because if Ryan shield's broken, he's, you know, absolutely useless. So it worked out for you guys, but that's just for you'll have way more success and you'll be playing the comp better if you just set yourself up like right there and then, you know, just say everybody focus shield and like let everybody know that they should be focusing shield, especially if you notice that it's like a, you know, a go comp. You should be telling your team as the main tank, hey, everybody focus shield, and then you let them know if you're going for like a pull, so you can like set up, you know, pull nades and whatever. But you should always be telling your team to focus shield.
You're running goats. He's just pushing
I
up.
have
Ryan's
D.Va,
low.
D.Va.
Ryan's low.
I have Ryan.
Survive.
Pulling back. Breaks down.
I have Zarya.
Zarya hook. Nice.
I have Lucio.
Get the baby, get
Baby,
baby, get
baby,
baby.
baby.
Lucio now.
Nice.
Nice, guys.
Go fairy back Matt. Oh wait, no, we don't have Lucio. Shoot. I'm stupid. Ignore me.
I'm gonna shoot a shield onto the choke.
You're gonna hit
Yes,
that?
shield windups.
Spoiler,
We'll
I
find out.
don't.
Left side again.
Back
Alright.
should we back it?
Whatever, it was a valiant effort.
You guys can
It's still
back.
gonna
pull
be
back.
like
I have
recharged
Ryan.
in
Ryan
time.
low.
Yeah.
Ryan down, Ryan down, Ryan
Get
down.
coalescence.
I have D.Va.
Lucio's pulled. I'm
Lucio's one. Lucio's one. D.Va on me in the
I'm
back.
swept. I'm swept. I have D.Va. D.Va no GM.
pulled.
D.Va half.
Pushing up in.
Okay, so just so you get in the habit of it. So I know you're calling the pulls, but
D.Va no GM.
you're saying pulled like after you've already right clicked everything. You should be like, how I'm looking for pull, and like, are you ready? Like just letting him know so he has hook. So I don't know if he uses hook. He doesn't use hook. So then you could have just saved, like, even though you did get them all together, you're still not getting value like out of it, because then you can just disperse before you even get like, you know, anything on top of it. So if you had an Ana, you can be like, hey Ana, I'm pulling, are you ready? And then
Nade,
just
yeah.
so just every time you use pull, try and let your team know, or like do like a count on like pulling 3, 2, 1, especially if you have a hog, because then they know how to set up their hook to get, you know, the hook kind of like plays and stuff like that. So you are saying it, but just give a little bit more of like, you know,
Heads
an
up.
awareness to your team or whatever, so then they know to get set up for, you know, like the pulls and stuff.
Pushing up into him.
D.Va hook. D.Va hook. D.Va hook in the back.
D.Va, D.Va, D.Va.
Kill
Baby.
baby. Kill baby immediately. Alright, push
I have
into him.
Ana up in choke.
Did they pull out?
Yes,
do.
Ana pulled out.
I'm gonna try and pull this Ana.
Never pull out. Alright, up.
Oh, I almost got both of them there.
That was
God damn it.
close.
Alright, whatever.
Up.
Back up, pigs. I'm gonna supercharger this fight. What else do we want to use?
I have Lucio.
That's it.
Try and go for.
Lucio's on the
try and
right.
Go for dragons. Pull the dragons.
Okay. There's a
Yeah,
May.
man.
May, I'm
May.
done.
Your wall.
You're cut off. You're cut off.
Get ready.
Yeah,
to
that
back
bongo's a
up
good
the
spot.
dragons. Okay, get ready
Just
to
out
pull.
of
I don't know if
I
I'm
have
8
Diva.
seconds.
like there, because they can't kill without
Okay,
them,
thanks.
without them pushing through. So that's good.
I could have sworn I had that blocked, but
Sorry, low enough point.
But yeah, so this just goes back to you playing super up there.
Yeah.
So the best spots to be playing for Orisa.
Is
if
probably
you
like
know-
forklift, right?
No, okay. So if they have goats, that forklift is just a starting spot, and then depending on what comp they have, you would change it. So if they're running the dive comp, then you play the close, right? Because you can just get like the pulls on the tanks or the supports when they push through. Since they're on that goats comp, I believe, you want to be playing tops. So pretty much what you're going to be doing is you either set up right up since it's up here, you just be having your shield, whatever, and you just be chilling behind it, and then you just be focusing Ryan shield when they touch point, and having your hog, whatever, can contest point. And since they are like the goats comp, you just throw once they touch point, you just throw your shield wherever, like here, and have your hog playing while everybody's pocketing the one person that's on point. So it's either you play there or you can play up here and have your shield in the same exact spot, and you just have that one person contesting point. And that's how you counter goats comp, because then his shield can only be blocking one way. So if you have your whole team on both two different high grounds, one of you is going to be getting value out of it, either with you getting the shots, hog getting the shots, your supports getting the shots in, getting purple, stuff like that. So against goats, you want to be playing these high grounds, and then if it was dive, then it's okay to be playing close like that, because you don't want to let them in with free space. So that's just for next time. For goats, you want to try and just set up on those high grounds.
Yeah.
Have Ryan discorded?
Yeah, we should have tabbed and seen that.
Yeah.
I'm going afar. Brittany, can you...
So since you had the McCree and Hanzo, like if that's just like how you guys run that, then you'd have you and either McCree or Hanzo on one side with a support, and then you'd have the other two whatever on the other side. So then you always want to create crossfires every single time on all the choke points, especially with the Orisa comps. And then you just have the one person roaming to be playing. Hog will be playing with you up top right, and then when they drop to point, you just focus him. Then he can drop down to point eventually. Once you get a pick, or if you just need to contest because they're about to cap. Like it's okay to give 1 or 2 ticks before you drop if you're going to win the fight, and then the next fight you just drop faster.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you'll for next time just try and remember to play those high grounds for that type of comp.
Can you go Mercy? Or,
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I just used trance, it's fine.
And then we might want to swap off Orisa Hog here.
Yeah, we can't swap now.
Do you want Ryan Daria?
I'll use my ult and then I'll swap to D.Va or Zarya depending on what they're running.
Yeah, so for Orisa, for defending, it's alright, but just because of their comp, it would have been better for you to say, hey, let's just go, Ryan Zarya, or you can even do like, Monkey D.Va, and then you're just playing, on top of that other high ground, and you just like, zap them as they are coming through. I wouldn't say Orisa's the best pick for this, just because they're just gonna like hard speed onto you unless you put yourself like if you know how to do like the corner strat where you put the shield enough to where it just blocks you and you're just tanked in the corner with your like healers healing you. That's like the only way where Orisa would probably get value versus their team comp, especially since they have Mei. But yeah, we can see if you try and do whole combos.
Widow now? Where's on Widow?
Pulling mid.
Actually, that's fine. That was enough time for him
Stick
to
with him, I can take care of everybody else.
Sounds
get
good.
it as it was going.
Cam
But
with you.
Pulling
Watch the
in
Widow.
3, 2, 1.
I'm gonna have to
yeah, so yeah, that's,
Ryan shield
That's
about to
way
break.
better
Get
job.
Ryan.
I'll pull with the block.
Nice.
Big,
Nice.
Pulling.
no ult. Push in, clean him out.
Colin.
So
Calculated.
so you still got the block, but I just want you to like realize something. Okay,
With
so
him, I can take
they're all
care of
pushing in,
everybody
right?
Sounds good.
What?
Cam with you.
So why
Pulling
do you?
in 3, 2, 1.
Why do you need to be the closest one up there when you could be shooting like 10 feet back? Because there's no, drop off damage and all that type of stuff. So there's no reason for you to be playing this close. This just lets them get closer to you for free. There's no reason for you to be like, you can shoot your shield here, but you can still be playing
Like further back.
all the way far back.
I'm gonna have
Because
full
just
lessons for this
it
fight.
just gives you more
Ryan shield
time
about
to
to
be
break.
able
Get
to
Ryan.
like counter what they're trying to do.
Nice.
Nice.
Big,
Nice.
Pulling.
no ult. Push in, clean him out.
Colin, I'm with you.
Zarya, get Lucia. Lucia.
Anna's still up here, she's low.
I've got a pull for it. Do
Lucia's
you have a
out.
hook?
I'm going to swap, so.
We're backing
I'm
out.
also going to swap.
Yeah.
Back out, back out.
Keep that widow in mind.
Hey.
Actually, I might stick on
Anyone sees
Orisa
her
here
call
for a
location?
minute.
Yeah, that's fine.
Zarya or Diva? Mount.
I'd go Diva here.
Diva.
Heal, 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 heal.
Yeah.
Get the Fungus.
Sorry, you run.
Call the widow,
No,
please.
6 health. Widow's right side?
Never damage boosting you.
All right. And also do you know how to do you like think about doing the double shields?
Where you shoot
At
it
all?
straight up.
Yeah. So especially since against whatever like their comp, since you have ample time against dive, doesn't really matter because they're never gonna be like breaking shield and stuff. But especially since you're playing against like the Rhino comp and you're trying to kill his shield as like they're coming through, you always want to be looking to, because you get a free double shield pretty much, and there's nothing they can really do about it since they have to slowly push through that choke. So since you had like your first shield there, so every single time it comes off cooldown, just look straight up and just press spacebar because that gives you extra time, and just shoot it straight up in the air, and then every time it lands, you just keep redoing that. Because your shield lasts for like 20 seconds. If you shoot it straight up, it'll come down in like, I don't know, I think it's like 8 seconds or something. So pretty much like your shield cooldown is like 3 seconds, and you can essentially get 3 shields if they have like a hard spam comp. You usually can have 3 shields before they break all 3 of them, since they're all dropping at like different time around when one breaks. So that's what you should be, especially if you're playing like Orisa on this comp. Just remember to think about like doing those double shields.
Run shield on top. May left mini.
May's health pack room. Spam it if you can. Use shields
May's
right.
coming in, May's coming in.
May down.
There's boosting.
And a one.
I'm going Wrecking Ball real. Oh.
Rezzing.
I don't think really could
Got
have
you.
done there just because you're so close
Lucia's one,
position.
Lucia's one.
Yeah.
So if you were position like back farther, you would have had like way more time, and then you can always just put your shield like whatever into the corner, and then you'll be protecting yourself from the maple, like the maple lizard and everything, since you have seen them like coming through. So that's just another example.
Got
Like
you.
there's no reason to be playing like so
Lucia's one, Lucia's
close
one.
up. Like
He's dead.
in those type of comps, just putting yourself farther back is
Zarya now,
just
Zarya now,
there's no reason
Zarya.
not to. That's Orisa.
Zarya's dead.
Run.
Run.
What up
Don't
top
let him
left?
out, don't let him
What up
out.
top left low.
He's
He's in the
resetting.
back, careful.
Oh, there's a Rhine.
He's resetting. We're good, we're
Okay.
good.
They're, I think they're going to dive now.
Let's see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Possibly.
going dive.
Yeah.
Monkey Rhyme?
They still have a Reinhardt?
And
Yeah.
on.
Okay.
Maybe just monkey to counter Connor? Question mark.
I'll keep a pull for you.
Yeah, I
Connor.
gotta stay far on.
We got what's in
Yeah.
here.
Sights, I think he's going top left.
Peeking.
We have no lessons for this fight.
I'm gonna boop
I have
Ryan.
vouch for this fight.
Ryan's boop.
Monkey's jumping in.
What's the widow?
Get this monkey.
Alright,
Get
so
monkey.
for when Ryan's like doing like coming through
Mhm.
the choke points,
We have
so
no lessons for this fight.
right now is, since he's like pushed up a little bit, is when you'd want to use your orb just to pull him back farther, because then he still has nowhere to like hide, so he's gonna be forced to hold the shield up, and then you might be able to break his shield in that time. So then he's gonna walk all the way back behind the choke point, wait for it to recharge and do it again. So you'd want like right when they start walking through the choke is when you want to try and pull them back, because then it's just getting that free damage, and then it makes their Ryan maybe make a mistake or be scared. So then he's gonna call his team like, "Hey, shield's broken. Let's just back out and wait a little bit," and not just giving you free extra time. Oops. Like taking more time off the clock and stuff.
Yeah.
So don't really wait like too long to use the orb. You just want to use it like right when they're starting to like move through those chokes.
Mhm.
Because there's nothing that they don't have. I don't think they have a diva, so they can't eat it. So there's nothing really they can do unless they get a bubble.
I'm gonna boop
I have
Ryan.
vouch for this fight.
Ryan's boop.
Monkey's jumping in.
What's the widow?
Get this monkey. Get monkey right side.
I'm dropping back.
Yeah, we're even here.
Stalking.
What's on me?
Down.
Finish your mine. That Winston.
I'm on Winston. Pulling.
So Zen is Mega Room by himself.
Okay, let's push it.
So yeah, that was fine for what you did there. If you're losing the fight, just remember to put yourself in that little corner. And I think it's like the second crease. You just shoot the shield like
The
right
right,
there, so
left,
if you-
or back corner.
yeah, you want to be back. So since they like how they pushed in, whatever. So when they pushed into here,
Yeah.
instead of you
That
putting your
Winston.
shield right there, you just back up a little bit more into that
And then you put it on the second crease.
back corner, yeah, and then like the second crease, and then pretty much you're just fortified in that corner, and then there's no way they can get to you unless it's a melee person that walks up into your shield. So even if they have any DPS, they have a Zen, anything, even a Tracer, they all have to blink right into your shield, and they can't shoot you because nothing's sticking out. So they have to walk like right up in your line of sight, and then it's just free headshots as the Orisa, because your teammates are scattered on the point anyway, so nobody's really going to be using the shield. So pretty much you just want to use it to your advantage, and then maybe you'll be making people try and focus you only because they'll just see you on the point, like, bro, he's just trying to get this Orisa alone. But really that's where you excel at, is playing in those corners, like using Fortify and all your abilities to keep yourself alive.
I'm on Winston. Pulling.
So Zen is Mega Room by himself.
Okay, let's push it.
Thanks, I got you.
I have sights for this fight.
I've got Supercharger as well.
All right, and then since I knew, now that I know it's not like just a mess over time. Okay, so what's the point of putting your shield like this? With-
So it's like covered partially.
But then so having like, since they have like the Rhine comp, and nobody on their team has, I think they have a Widow. So if they're running like a junk, like a hard spam heavy comp, then I could see like this, like you could just like angle it, and this is like fine. But since they have that Widow comp, the Widow's gonna be looking for picks, right? And they don't have that hard of a spam like for the shield, so you can always have the shield up, and this is where like the double shields come into play. So all this shield is like shield space is wasted, so you can just put it out and then angle it, so then you're blocking way more space onto the point where their Widow is not, because their Widow is either a good Widow is going to be playing like up here, so they have all this side, or they're where when they push through they're going to be on these corners. So if you just have your shield all the way with all this space maximized, then there's absolutely no way where your healers should, or any of your DPS should be getting picked off at. So just realizing when to put shield, like if they have a heavy spam comp, then this is fine. But if they don't, just try and maximize it out, just because they're not going to be able to break your shield by the time you get a new one.
Yeah.
So just having it like out and then just like angled, so then it's cornered. Like I think you just place it like here, so then it's cornered like this whole way instead of being out in front. Because having it cornered as well, having like the shields that are like curved, it makes it so even if like they're up here, they might not see it, so they have to like push out into the open to be able to even break the shield, while your supports back here are still being whatever, safe from everything.
I'm gonna use it before they come in, see if I can try and get a pick.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make them fucking think I'm looking for a barrage.
Okay, now they're Action Dive.
Yeah.
They still have Ana.
They're gonna have a pulse bomb. They're gonna have a
They're
nano,
going right side?
and I think they're gonna have a trance.
They're on right side.
Yeah, that's right.
Pulling healers. Diva, can you go jump on that Ana?
How about Widow?
She's half. She's no potion.
Tracer on point.
Brittany, heal me.
All right, so especially when like right here. All right, so you had the shield good, and And then I know you saw them like
Diva, can you go jump on
coming
that?
over here. All right, but so you know they had the Widow. She just shot. That was like right there.
Mhm.
So this shield is gonna do absolutely nothing. Like I know they're coming through this way, but a monkey's gonna zap through the shield, right?
Yeah.
And like the chasers. So it's better to, if you wanted to play here, then you just angle the shields like when you like, you know, just walk all the way down, or you'll just angle it like, you know, this way while you're facing them, because they're just your whole team's here. You can just take that fight while still not letting their Widow get any picks, because their Widow is probably like your main threat, whatever, in this comp. And then you can always, once you go down here, then you just replace the shield like on that bottom corner.
Yeah.
You're still blocking your team, because like this shield right here is probably doing absolutely nothing. Like it might think that you're gonna be blocking a little bit, but that Widow probably has sightlines on you no matter if you're playing here or if you go in front of it, because then now she can still see anybody that comes through that gap in it. So you just want to make sure whenever you place the shield that you're going to be getting like the most value. Just don't, you know, panic press it. Just like think of where everybody's positioned, like what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Anna.
How about Widow?
She's half. She's no potion.
Tracer on point.
Brittany, heal me. I'm gonna barrage.
Yep.
Tracer's still on point.
In the end.
Shit.
That's okay. We're
we
up
have
to.
Paul-
Tracer's
I got
just
lost.
chilling in the back line.
Got him.
I should
Get that Diva. Get that Diva.
There's a Zen behind her who's half.
That's a good play.
There's
You
a
always want
Tracer in the
to,
back
whenever you're
line,
facing
watch out,
tracers, you
healers.
always want to throw
Force
this
that
down
trans,
like
force
that.
that trans. Let's go, boy!
She tries to
Careful,
do
go
you.
up, man.
That was good.
I'm juice.
I'm healing Higgs.
Alright.
Tracer is going to be looking for a
Okay.
pulse bomb on the healers, by the way. So watch your back. She's in the back, in between me and the spawn.
Okay.
There she is. Pulling.
Get stuck, yell stuck, and don't move.
I hope she sticks me.
She used pulse before last fight, so
Good
it's possible
pick.
she doesn't have it.
She's been
I-
farming
Nice
me.
pick.
That was a terrible fucking flick. Holy shit.
She's been farming me, though.
No, like she used pulse. Like remember when all the tanks were grouped up on her right? That's when she used it.
Okay.
Ah, shit, I'm down.
Alright, supercharging.
I have coalescence too.
Yeah, that's a good spot for supercharger. That's fine. Still have it protected and everything.
He's low.
Monkey one.
Monkey prime. Ah, put it on me. Alright,
This is kind of crazy here. There's a Reaper.
Matt, I'm with you.
We need to get these healers down.
they hit.
Reaper's half.
Reaper first, then healers.
Stalking.
Anna's one shot.
What the hell?
Guys, get the
Reaper.
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 Get
Reaper. Reaper's one shot, guys.
Okay, so just like going through this, and we'll go back to it again. Since you're like the main tank with this shield and everything, you know that you got like booped around. You can still call the rotation to be like, okay, I'm putting shield on right side, just so everybody knows that's where to regroup. Because in hectic fights like this, you need to be the team leader to be like, hey, let's regroup on like, you know, whatever side, and then you can, you know, push together. And then you still, because everybody could just regroup on the right side, play behind shield, and then just focus whatever target. And you know how you said like, you know, Reaper, or you could have just been like, you know, Reaper like left side, or he could be right in front of everybody since everybody's together, that everybody knows where he is and like where to focus. So in those hectic fights where like, you know, everybody's just, you know, doing whatever, make sure you're still calling like which side you're gonna be rotating on. Since you were like, you know, over on this side, now you're like on the opposite side, just so your team knows where the shield's gonna be placed.
Switch to Lucio.
I'm on point.
I'm also on point. I'm targeting Zen.
I'm on Zen.
I'm gonna have coalescence again.
Chase the Reaper.
Imagination is the essence of this story.
Let's go for stall here.
Batteries, yeah, with some mediocre, yeah.
What's up?
I'm on point.
Coalescence.
Oh no, so your sets supposed to
Keep it low, keep it low.
use.
You
Do you got a mech?
I do it for
Monkey one,
subs,
monkey down.
mediocre. So if you have like
Get Zen,
your
get Zen.
sub, you can just upload it in my
Get that Widow,
Discord,
get the Widow.
like a
Just
VOD,
get
and
that
I'll do it on Sundays.
I can jump on the Widow here in 1
Zen's
second.
literally one. Winnable.
Nice.
Don't stay on point. Stay on point.
Ah,
You guys got this.
Call targets.
Reaper.
Call.
That. Moira.
Moira.
Okay, so when you're looking for, when you do like these, you know, like the final install, the only big people that you really want to be trying to focus, so like the Reaper, yeah, but he has a shift, and you want to try and focus targets that if everybody gets on them, they can die instantly. So it's either looking for like a support, or if you saw like their, you know, their Widow just use grapple or whatever, then that's fine to get on her, because then you know that's going to be an insta kill. So because you need to be able to get at least one kill, and then you can maybe sort of regroup yourselves and like stagger back onto the point. So we want to be trying to find where those, like one of those healers are, or one of like the really immobile targets, and just have you just call that one, just keep spamming calling that one, like, you know, the location where it's at while you're on it. It's because killing like either the tanks or the Reaper, you're never gonna be able to kill them by the time, you know, they kill your team, since you guys are just staggering in. So you have to try and look for one of those like squishier targets that are easier to focus in these like recontesting points.
Healers now.
Get D.Va first.
Watch Widow.
Vaccine with a pulse.
Your tanks can't do anything with the Reaper there.
Yeah.
Reaper's one. Reaper's actually one.
Get him as soon as he's out of range. Dead?
Nice.
Monkey now,
Widow top
monkey.
right. Widow top. Widow top right.
Baby D.Va.
David Eva soldier.
Tracer, Widow's one, top right.
I'm on D.Va.
D.Va. I have 6 health.
With you.
Get that Moira.
I'm getting
Get
D.Va.
Moira.
I'm on Moira.
More. I'm Moira.
Watch bomb.
I'm on.
Moira. I've got Primal.
We're almost down.
D.Va,
Moira
Matt.
one. Moira down. Baby Diva. Reaper.
Reaper's
More
down.
down. Feet. I'm on Monkey. Monkey's low. Reaper.
One shot.
Get Reaper's needs to range. Dead?
That was fine. Wasn't like the the best juggling he probably could have done, but at least you stayed on point, so you weren't like going too far.
But yeah,
away from
I was
everything.
gonna say, you guys can't
Do you know
stop
how to do
talking
like
even when you guys are losing,
the
so,
like the short jumps and
calling
controlling
targets
primal?
as soon
So it's like
as
you just
guys
kind of
come
like
out,
press space and use.
spawn is really
I've been working
But
on
you
my
guys started
monkey,
doing
so
it,
I've
so-
worked on my primal a lot as
Also,
well.
Okay.
that was a sick fucking beat. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that was
so
nice.
cool. Okay.
Comms improved a
The
ton
map's,
from the
like,
first,
over here.
or after the
Yeah.
first one.
That's
So
super
much-
So this
so
is
much
a
better.
Koth. I'll just do this Koth and then. Oh, Rialto.
Dirt.
I want to see a Koth.
We can get a grab early.
Do you play a Koth?
Play a what?
Please.
Sorry?
Like a Koth map?
Actually,
Or is it just.
One. Get
No,
take
we
immature
played
for
the
me.
map. Oh yeah, we do actually.
Left side.
Okay, good.
You have to
Connor's-
burn on the pole.
Connor's. So no, we're not ready.
so
Because the
aggressive.
Koths
Virgin,
is
we're
where
gonna
like the
push back, so we
and you can see like mechanics, since we just did
So
like
Matt,
team
you only wrote one comp for
strats and stuff
Nepal.
like
Did
that.
you want us to run the same
Because
thing
teams
on
that
every
don't
map, or-
have very good strats, like this is all
which one
do you
Koth just
want?
comes down to
I want-
mechanical skill. So
Mhm.
now this is where I can kind of critique that stuff.
It's the inside one.
I thought that was.
No,
Is-
Would I start scrim is this?
Okay, yeah. So I want
I don't know. Would I start scrim is this?
Plat.
Okay.
to Risa Hog here.
Plat and like
All right,
low
what do you want?
diamond.
What DPS?
Very low diamond.
You want General Lucio.
Do you want to try and no? If you want to try and Widow, this is a map to Widow.
I want to play soldier if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. And then let's do Pharah Mercy.
Oh, do you have like a new main
Yeah.
tank guy, or are you just like
And
playing hog on this
what do we
point?
want as the other spot?
Lucio for the speed boost.
Yeah.
Our main tank went and pretty much left the team because he had to go play
speed
for his
boost
university.
and not only boop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
speed
his
boost.
things conflicted with ours, so I took main tank. I was the off tank before.
Gotcha. So then, is there a reason why you're playing hog and not the Orisa on this, or you just didn't feel comfortable playing Orisa, and that's why that guy's playing it?
This was before he left.
Oh, okay.
Did you say play Boostio?
That's still
Did
fine.
somebody
I can
say
still...
no?
Did I
Bustio
say
plays
moving
DPS.
mouse?
Boostio plays DPS, and I don't really like him.
Whoops.
Oh shit, we're going.
He's just a little like immature for me.
Welcome
Left
back.
side is whole side.
Alright, Alright.
This is he's never played
Are we
Pro
going right?
Just cut the bot.
Where are
Cut
we
the
going?
bot.
Left side. Left side.
Hammond.
We're going up.
All right, Jay. Have a
Oh
good
my
night,
God,
bro.
we're
Thanks for
split.
stopping by.
Yeah.
Well, now we're not. We're fixed.
They
That
are
was my
monkey
mistake.
dogs.
Shield in 3.
Watch
They
monkey,
have
watch
it.
monkey.
Triple
They're
back
monkey.
lane.
They're monkey hog Hammond. I'm gonna
Okay.
try to pull over.
Bot tank, bot tank.
They have D.Va too.
Alright, let's get
Moving
to
to
point.
Monkey, can we get this monkey?
Monkey's in the
D.Va
corner.
one.
Dead.
Hammond.
You got more.
Hulk behind
I'm
you
dead.
guys. Hulk behind.
Focus hard, focus
That's
hard.
just unfortunate.
I got a Hammond on top of me.
I know it's like it's
Yeah.
kind of probably on the Arisa here for like calling
get
her
shit.
Is he down?
like pulls and stuff.
Shield in 1.
But since they have nothing,
Lucia's in the
you should always be
picture.
looking to get that
okay.
like initial hook combo from the Arisa. So if the Arisa's not setting it up, then even as the off tank, you can just like say, "Hey, Arisa, let's go for a pull." Like you can just be the one to take initiative because those are like the type of like combos that are like almost guaranteed and what's going to make you a better person. So even if like the main tank player wasn't doing it, then at least you could just tell the main tank player like what to do even as the off tank, and you will still get like more value and just
Mhm.
carry the team that way.
He's down. He's down. He's
Oh, he's
dead.
alive.
Where? Oh,
In the mid.
Good ball, right?
he's on. He's on
Got him,
point.
got him,
He's on
got him,
point.
got him. Alright, hashtag.
Hammond.
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 This hog is still in
He's
the back,
dead.
guys.
Hey,
Nope.
There we go.
Nice. Alright.
Good
Alright.
shit.
Push up.
Pull
Right?
it up.
Let's play the doors. Play the doors for a little bit, and then we need the Lucio to speed boost us out when we start to get overrun. Okay?
Sounds good.
Lucio. Lucio.
Hooked. Dead.
Nice.
All right, so playing with front is fine, everything, but I saw
We need the Lucio
you
to speed
hit
boost us out when we start to get overrun.
whoever tabs.
okay?
So make sure, like, since you just won the fight,
Mhm.
I don't know if this is what you were looking at or whatever, but whenever you did win the fight, you want to make sure and look for team comps because they just swapped the Widow, and the Widow can potentially get somebody picked because they, if nobody's really realizing it. So every single time that you win a fight, especially if it's like, first fight, people might be doing swaps to certain things.
Yeah.
And on certain maps, so, it's more impactful than others. So just make sure that like if you do see a change that you're calling it out and be like, hey, Widow swap, be like there's Widow now, like Widow swap from whatever. Even if you don't remember who it is, just say Widow swap.
Mhm.
So your team knows like what heroes now are going to be what you're facing when they on like the next engagement.
Sounds good.
Lucio.
Hooked. Dead.
Nice.
I feel well fed.
You got Widow?
I've got supercharger. I'm gonna use it when they push you.
Widow's low. Widow's low.
D.Va.
Diva's out of mech.
Some
Diva.
nice hooks.
Watch our back here. Just
Watch
like
Widow.
Yep,
Still haven't
hog's in
seen
back.
one
hog's in
combo
back.
though.
Focus hard,
Yep.
focus
Focus.
hard.
Hog.
Still working.
Hog low. Nice.
Okay.
all right, back up.
I'm gonna be above them here.
Oh, what did I do?
I'm gonna barrage them.
Pulling.
Here we go.
Nice.
Yeah, so see that like you do get the barrage off, but you use your hook and then right after Darius is like, hey, I'm pulling or whatever. So you just kind of, especially as like an off tank, you kind of want to limit those things from happening. Like I know throughout the whole round, you didn't really like call any like
Yeah.
orbs till that one, but just like I don't know, be aware of using hook when you have like the Orisa like pull combo and stuff because you got saved kind of like by the barrage, but that could have like turned bad if they somehow got an engagement on you.
Mm.
Oh, man.
Big.
Nice pull.
Who's left? Who's left?
Because I don't
Why
even think they have
couldn't
a
this have been,
shield, so
on
you can
quick
just be
player combo?
abusing
Would've
right
got the
now
achievement.
all these hook combos.
I still need both. I saw Baby D.Va was like over there.
Link up up front, guys.
Lucio.
Coming.
D.Va's out of mech.
Nice D-Mac.
Nice.
Lucio's
Good
in.
hit. Oh!
Nice.
I'm gonna pull over. Wait, tell me when hook's up.
Monkey's going to
Watch
flank
left
here.
side flank.
Watch
Alright,
Genji. Genji.
I'm
I'm
pulling up.
pushing-
I'm pulling
I'm
up.
pushing flank.
Widow left.
Matt and I are watching the side.
Back up. I got
Oh,
no
you got
shield.
Widow?
Monkey on you.
Monkey.
Monkey half. Joe, I need you.
I'm not
Okay.
there.
They're going hard to point.
Feet.
I pulled one.
Alright, so you saved that. That was
I got
pretty
some.
good.
Monkey,
Okay,
monkey.
so I know you're going all the way to check this. If you're
Mhm.
going to do this, you need your team to be like you know I know you let them know going for the point, but then you have to let them know like to tell you when to like
Watch
Alright,
come back.
I'm
pulling up,
pushing,
pulling
I'm
up.
pushing flank.
Widow left.
So all these people are
I have the
You know, they
Mercy
already-
with me.
yeah, and they all
Nightmare watching
engaged
the
Back up.
already, and then so you're all the way out over here when your whole team is getting sped on. So you didn't really do anything wrong in here. It's just I guess if you go to the point like maybe just let your if your team's not gonna tell you when they're engaging, that you just
Get back on.
like kicking us, let me know if
Monkey
they're
on you.
pushing
Monkey.
through because
Monkey
this
down.
could have turned out like
Joe, I need you.
pretty bad, but
They're going
you end up
hard to
making like a
point.
good hero play here and knocking them off.
Pulled one.
I got two.
Monkey.
Monkey, monkey,
Nothing
monkey.
was really that
You're
bad.
up 3. Or
Moira
pretty
now.
good.
Moira right
Okay.
side. Moira right side.
Okay, more.
Diva. All right.
Diva
Pulling.
down there.
Can we get Moira first? Moira's
Yes.
in our back line.
Dead.
Moira's in our back line still. Moira's right room. Moira
Down.
down.
Lucio's going for boots. Be careful.
I'm
Pulling
gonna try and
Lucio?
hook the Lucio.
Still one.
About.
Mercy down.
Monkey, no
Lucio
jump.
down.
Monkey, no jump.
Monkey.
I'm boosting you guys.
Tracer, no recall.
I'm gonna use.
Get the monkey. Get the
Nice,
monkey.
that's
Use
good. You're
Visor
calling
once I get
cooldowns.
Monkey one. Monkey one. Yeah, monkey.
Dead.
Monkey down.
Genji.
Genji,
Get
down.
it.
Diva.
Diva. I got no shield.
Moira
Moira.
now.
Nice
Nice
work.
ult, Connor. Nice.
What a map, baby.
Nice ult, Connor.
Not bad. You're pretty good on hog there.
Hog's one of my weakest tanks. That's the most full hog kills I've ever gotten with one of them.
Didn't seem like that on that one.
I'm so sad. I think you stole 2 pull kills.
I might have.
Shrine.
At least you stole at least one.
I forgot how much I love playing Lucio.
I also prevented the Pharah from getting back up, though. I think.
Yeah, that was
Or the
beautiful.
Widow.
Lucio here.
We might want to do Mercy Moira here.
Are we?
Um,
Okay.
I want the Mercy to start off as Lucio for the speed.
Yeah, yeah,
Can
yeah.
you swap, guys?
Or what is the same thing?
Yeah.
No, you're fine. You're fine. It was more
Brittany are going Mercy,
Brittany and Joe.
Yeah, because with the hog we got the self healing, so Lucio can be fine, but we have no self healing. They've got Pharah.
They have a Lucio. They're
All right. Are you listening to music while you're scrimming?
Yeah.
That like you could say that like like how stupid that is. It's not not that great to listen to music while you're doing scrims, because even if it's just like background music that you're using for, it's still not letting you be like 100% focused. Like if you hear like footsteps, enemy ults, like you might miss that from having like the music that's being played. So it'd be best to not play. You can like do comp and stuff with music, but in scrims and stuff you're not going to want to use music, because even if you plan on getting like higher up, you'll get yelled at, and it's not very good to just don't listen to music while you're doing scrims.
Zarya.
His bubble.
Zarya Hammond.
Sorry.
No, that's good.
Moving
That's
into
who
him,
I wanted
moving
to
into
bubble.
Lucio's 1.
All right, we gotta focus the Hammond.
Yep,
Okay.
focus
I need help.
Where?
Behind. I'm up choke.
I got you.
I see you.
I got you. Okay. Going for res.
Can we get Zarya? Zarya's 1.
Mercy's 1.
She got Mercy on her, and I need healing really bad.
Hammond 1?
Zarya down.
You guys got this.
Tracer's one on the left side.
I'm out of healing.
That's okay.
I'm on the way back.
We're fine.
Tracer's
Alright.
dead.
Oh,
There's your get out of free jail.
Brittany.
All right, so every time you are gonna bubble Ryan, like you didn't say on the other one either, just let him know. Even if you're not playing like off tank anymore, for your team, it's just get in the habit, if you're ever playing off tank, to let like hey, I'm bubbling, like I bubbled you Ryan or whatever, so then he knows he can be safe for like 5 seconds plus. Then he knows that your bubble's not gonna be on like not up for, I think it's like 8 seconds, so you can't be like that aggressive, because you don't have that like buffer zone for the bubble. So get in the habit of like letting your whoever you bubbled, like telling them that they bubbled, because then your team knows not to, they're not gonna have a bubble up for however long.
Have Moira, and we're starting out. Try and stick with me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get-
I got the
I'm-
team. Stay with him.
I'm gonna try to get behind him and shatter when they push in.
I dueled the farmer.
nah, just stay up
and
front.
that lasted despite
Okay.
not having a burst user.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Did they switch? They have a Ryan now, no Hammond?
They have a Pharah too.
You got coalescence.
I'm shattering.
Shatter.
Zarya?
Yeah.
Zarya?
Yeah, so just make sure you're calling your bubbles.
Dead?
I got a bubble for you in 1 second.
Okay, there you go.
Mercy's half.
There you go.
right
Did you
side.
see
Push
what
onto
he
the
listened to
front.
me and it was
They
I
beat
just
him.
knew.
Oh, that's
Oh.
rough. Ryan. Ryan in the back.
Mercy.
Ryan in the back. Tracer's in the back
I'm
line.
gonna go in for that raid. I'm gonna go
You
for
res
that
me?
res.
Yeah, go for
Yes,
it.
yes.
Watch out. Move it. You got
Got
a
it.
Tracer on you.
Doing
Far-
business, got you.
They're over there.
Yeah,
That was fine. Like,
I have
The
a
everything
Tracer's
was
still up.
just
No, Tracer.
Yo, get Curry, Curry.
the bubble thing
Sorry.
for
Nope,
now.
no.
Curry's on Zarya.
I'm coming back.
Whatever.
Alright.
I have grab.
You have a heart attack, man. Alright, we're gonna do grab barrage here.
Just give me a couple seconds to get
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Yeah, when you got it.
I'm 20 to shatter.
And heals.
Get Ryan.
Behind.
Alright,
I'm with
I'm
you.
gonna grab now.
Yeah, go for it.
I only got 2.
Nope, it's fine. It's a tank. Oh, behind.
Bars one,
Okay,
dead.
so even though you said like you only got 2, like that's pretty fine, but let your team know that like either you're grabbing the tank line, you're grabbing the support line, like let them know like what you got in the grab. Like somebody else called it right after, but you know you could have been the one like, hey, I'm grabbing tanks, or I got tanks like main. So then you know everybody knows. It's just I don't know, just it's helpful for the rest of your team to know like what got grabbed, and then they know if they can like follow up on it, or if like their backline's free or something like that, you know. So grabbing 2, you don't have to be like, oh, I messed up. Like just be like, hey, I got both tanks. That's fine. Like you don't want during like a scrim, you want to kind of keep like negative stuff away. Like if somebody, you know, whiffs a pulse, you're not gonna be like, oh bro, I missed pulse, or you know, I whiff shatter or something. You kind of just shrug it off and then go to like the next play. You don't want to like say those things, because then it just, I don't know, it gets like people start like, you know, thinking like weird ass shit. So you just been like, all right, you know, got both tanks or got one person, like you just make it seem like that's what you meant to do.
Res me, Brittany.
I got you. Yes.
Brittany, you have bubble.
I have shatter.
Got you.
I'm
You have
down.
one healer.
Push
There's
up.
still a
for
tracer.
Tracer.
Still a
Tracer's still up.
tracer.
I got you, Cam.
Tracer, no recall.
Mercy's one, coming to point. Get her. Is it Val?
Watch out. Grab on point.
I'm down.
Yeah, we're done. Regroup.
Okay,
And Richter done there.
I don't know if you saw, but that was yeeted from
That was my
spawn.
bad. I pushed it.
Alright,
That's
one
fine.
fight.
I know, I heard it, I was taking like good freaking while, but I was like, I don't freaking know where it was going from. Okay, oh, that's just like a fucking good ass grab from that Zarya then. Top fucking 500.
Kobe.
Alright,
Next time, can we call where the grab was? I accidentally just walked right
Yep.
into it.
It will. Yeah.
Yeah, I flew
I mean,
right into
Zarya
it.
wasn't anywhere near it.
alright, we ready? Let's go.
I got you, Cam.
Ryan's probably close to shatter. I don't think he has it yet.
I'm gonna boot Zarya.
I think he has it.
Yeah, you're probably right actually.
Bubble.
I'm gonna try to block it.
Bar's behind. With Cam.
The Tracer's behind.
So what you're doing here is fine.
Blocked it.
Block.
Get Ryan.
I'm right side or I'm left side. I need healing really bad.
Okay, so I know you're playing off tank, but since you're swapping to main tank, you want to use the Zarya bubble as your own cooldown. So you know, as you're playing up here, your mind never like called for bubble. It's kind of just you giving him bubble and stuff. But so if you're on the opposite side of this, as Ryan, you want to be telling your like off tank like when you want bubble, right? So you just tell him like, hey, say bubble for I want it. So then you can use it to, you know, be aggressive like here to either push up onto the Ryan or, you know, make an aggressive like pin charge or something like that, right? So I know you weren't playing Ryan, but if the roles were flipped, make sure that you're the one calling for the Zarya bubbles and just making sure that the Ryan is or your Zarya is only using it when you want it.
Yeah.
I got you, Colin.
I've got shatter. I'm gonna shatter.
Big
Nine,
shatter.
Falcon.
Right down.
Oof.
It's alright. Keep fighting.
Solo barrage feels bad.
Lucio on
Going
point.
for res.
Nice.
Winnable.
I'm stuck. It's still winnable. You guys are still good.
We got it.
Pharaoh behind you guys. Watch out for the res.
Orb coming to point.
Oh, I'm
my
bubble
God.
like just wore off.
Yeah.
That was unlucky.
Where?
Mercy right side. Mercy's out.
Alright, guys, just get out. Out.
Okay. Oh, that sucks.
We got Valk out. We can do grab barrage.
Yeah.
I'll have shatter during that fight.
Hurry might have another grab as well, though. But I don't think
Alright,
they have
we
a
gotta
combo.
be quick, guys.
Yeah,
We have to go soon.
You might have to start.
Watch
Watch
gotta
out
go now.
Watch out for bomb. Watch out for bomb.
We gotta go now.
Pulse bomb. Yep.
You have bubble?
I can touch.
I'm down. I'm gonna switch to Lucio.
Swinging.
I got three.
Okay, so
Run.
you end up getting the grab, but
Mm-hmm.
you still didn't call it whatsoever. So you know, like if you're pushing up, you're like, hey, I'm looking for grab like on the steps.
Mm-hmm.
Your Pharaoh was in position to grab, but if she wasn't, like if she would have been, you know, on like the way right side or you know the left side, it could have been bad because you would have had like it could have like turned out bad if you didn't have like any that much follow up.
Mhm.
So just make sure when you use grab, you're calling like where the grab is placed and just get in the habit of doing that.
Yeah.
Tracer.
We have heals.
No.
Get mercy.
I'm on my way back.
Watch out for pulse bomb on point.
Get that mercy. Dead.
So nice.
I'm with you.
Good job.
Down.
Dead.
Charging
I'm
up.
with you.
Orb coming to point.
Good work.
Lucio.
Nice job, guys.
Nice grab.
You
Ah, I
guys
see.
stop talking at certain points, but like you guys need to keep conversation or like communication going.
Yeah.
No
So,
conversation.
You guys are doing no conversation. You guys are doing great, okay? You guys got it.
Oh, Matt, how was your day?
This
My
map
bad.
is really rough. Or this
I like how we're running.
hard.
You guys are
Perfect.
calling
That means
targets
there's
that much,
plenty.
by the way, so like try to
See
call
what
more
happens.
Okay.
Sorry, what was that?
every time.
It was
Target
an
is
entire
more-
team problem.
Who do you want me? Who do you want me as?
Just same comp.
Yeah, like-
DPS can
Hey.
switch out, but
I'm gonna.
Do you want me as Mercy or do you want me as Lucio?
Mercy.
speed boost to mercy.
Okay.
Alright.
I think when we can really enable me and Colin with that much healing, it
Yeah.
really helps.
Yeah, the top
They're
right.
up here too. Watch out for the May. Maze one.
Maze dead.
I'm dead. Keep fighting though.
Yeah.
That was just
I
we
can't
can't
have res. I don't have
an
res.
unfortunate not seeing May in time and then not getting the bow off, but
Mm-hmm.
nothing else. You really
Backing out.
could have done. That's just
Back
if you
back out.
Brittany, how'd
see
you?
they have
Dead. I'm dead.
the
With
May
that
when
much
you're
healing,
pushing
it
up.
really helps.
You want to
Yeah,
look
top
so
right.
like you saw that they have the May.
Mhm.
So then at this point, then you're just be like
We're already walled
come
off
back
right
and-
now.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, do you see the red outline?
Watch out for the
Okay.
May. Maze one.
Maze dead.
I'm dead.
GG
Keep
next.
fighting though.
Yeah.
Everything else you
I
could
I
have
don't
done
have
there
res. I
then.
don't have res.
Right,
I'm
Brian.
backing out.
Back out.
Brittany, how'd you get knocked out of res? Just curious.
I got booped out for some reason.
Oh, okay. Alright. I didn't see anything that could have canceled
So
it.
against
Go main.
Maze,
Or not.
do you want to go
Main.
through kitchen?
You're right.
So
Actually,
you don't get you can't
No,
get
no,
walled off because
Because
there's
they'll just
multiple
be able to
exits.
spam
Already
us in
dropped.
that corridor with
So-
the Pharah.
yeah,
Watch out
Maze
for the
top
wall.
right.
Going
Maze
through
top right.
main is still
Okay,
kind of
everyone
risky
go.
if they
Reset the
hold the
full
right
They're all
way.
top right.
Mhm.
You can go to point and push them top.
Alright.
Okay.
Yep.
But
On point.
it
On
ended up
point.
working out, but
Nice.
I got solo shattered.
Whoa.
Ryan really doesn't like you.
No, I got.
Alright.
Damn.
Nothing really you could have done there either.
Okay, so
let's switch up the comp here.
what do you want?
we doing?
Let's try dive here.
So I want to see
Okay.
where you
I got
Yep. On point. On point. Nice.
Yeah, so you're with going to
I got solo shattered.
Whoa.
Yeah, there's nothing really else.
No, I got.
Alright.
Damn.
Okay, so
let's switch up the comp here.
what do you want?
doing?
Let's try dive here.
test.
They don't have a
Well,
break, do
mine's
they?
on.
No. Okay.
No.
What are we
I
doing
think
for
healers.
healers?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that works.
I guess I'm.
Okay. So now I just want to see what your thought process on this. So who in this comp should be the target you want to focus?
Either Mercy or the May.
All right. So we're gonna say, so Mercy's probably
Gonna be flying with the Pharah.
gonna be chilling with this person.
Yeah.
The May has an ice block,
Mhm.
so you're never gonna kill her. So you have it's okay when you're pushing up to if you see May force ice block or something, then you can get on her, but you should be looking, since you can kill the Lucio, because if you kill the Lucio in this comp, then the Mercy is forced to come down and heal the tanks, and that's when you can focus the Mercy. So you never really want to be looking to dive on top of a May if you haven't exhausted any of the resources. It's like bubble, ice block, stuff like that. So especially since the dive comp, what you're going out of it, seeing what you're going to do, but what you'd want to do is you get high ground right above where the bridge is, and then you're just poking them out to wait for the bubble to be exhausted, may ice block from your fire direction, fire spam and stuff like that. And then after you see that, if you see Lucio out of position or that happened, then you look to engage on one of those targets. But Lucio is probably the easiest one. And then after that, it's just you're just poking out things if your fire gets good directs or your tracer gets good clips on. But you never really want to be focusing the Mercy in the beginning, just because she has that escapes unless she gets directed.
Swapping them.
You're fine.
No.
Alright, you're fine.
I need Mercy.
Oh, yeah.
They've got a
There we
fire,
go.
You have
We're good,
Mercy,
we're good.
Okay.
Alright,
Watch out for the May though. She's gonna be.
right here. Okay. Used
All
wall.
right, choose wall.
All right, so the May messed up wall, but remember you have
Yeah, that works.
I guess I'm
you have
swapping.
this whole kitchen area where there's 2 exits.
Mhm.
So whenever you're versing a May, the best, since you're playing the dive comp, it's either you want to go from, if they're holding up there, you just go from main and get high ground, or you can go from kitchen, because then it's a shorter distance that you have to go, and you might not even have to use your jump to engage on them, so you can use your jump to disengage. So you never really want to go out through this top part when they have a May, just because it's really easy to get blocked off if they don't
You're
mess
fine.
up that wall.
You're fine.
I need Mercy.
Oh, yeah.
They've got a
There
fire,
we go.
You have
We're good,
Mercy,
we're good.
Sorry,
Okay.
people forget about that kitchen path.
Alright,
Watch out for the May though. She's gonna be.
right here. Okay. Used
All
wall.
right, choose wall. We gotta get that. We gotta get that Mercy.
Alright. Jumping Mercy.
I have Ryan
Or not
discorded.
Mercy.
Ryan's low.
Lucio.
I will have
Baited up B.
There's a Pharah behind us.
Okay.
Maybe not.
All right, so this is just shows another example why you want to not go out that way, because you want to be able to have a set, you want to be able to know what you want to focus on before the fight starts. So you want to give yourself ample time to see where the enemy team's positioned, and then be able to choose the target, so your whole team knows going into that engagement what they want to be focusing on. So it's either somebody called the Mercy, but there was no location or whatever, so then you still have no idea where the Mercy is, and then you jumped over past their whole team, but then you didn't let your team know where you're jumping or where the Lucio was located from on that engagement.
Yeah.
So there was just there was going to be no coordination from the start. So make sure if you, even though May did move use wall, then if you're all pushing out, be okay, look, we're looking to get on Lucio right side, or if you don't, even if you don't see see Lucio yet, just be hey, just focus Reinhardt main, and then after that be okay, I'm looking to try and find the supports, and then once you see the supports, then you can call the next engagement, so everybody's focusing together. So you don't want to just go out and be all just spread out, actually have targets every single time. Like even if you don't see what's like the target you want, just call out one so everybody's on the same thing as like you're going through the process, you know, and keep giving that location.
Okay.
Just,
Jumping Mercy.
I have Ryan
Or not
discorded.
Mercy.
Ryan's low.
Lucio.
So happy.
Baited up B.
There's a Spara behind us.
Okay.
Maybe not.
This Ryan is carrying. Can anyone
Yeah.
Reaper?
Connor, can you Reaper?
So I think if we can disable
I
the
feel like we
tanks-
can't push through the top.
Yeah,
with
we should
No,
go
main.
main.
Yeah, main. Alright. Go straight to point, left side.
Alright, they're here. Watch out for wall.
They used wall.
I have Ryan discorded.
Ryan's low.
He's still low, he's low. I'm dead.
I'm trapped.
all right, let's just go back and see this.
Alright. Go straight to point, left side.
Alright, they're here.
Basically,
Watch
call
out
what
for
you
wall.
want.
They used wall.
I have Ryan discorded.
So then right now you said like, you know, you have a location like where you want to be, but then you haven't said like who's pushing up or any target whatsoever. It's like you could have said like, okay, you know, Ryan's pushing up or whatever. And then if you knew he had shatter, then, you know, you could be like calling that out if one person, like, I don't know if they said he had shatter or not, but if you can, like, since as the main tank player, you can tell
Careful wall.
if, you
They
know,
used wall.
they're going to be hard pushing
I
up
have
like
Ryan
this, you know,
discorded.
they probably have like an ability or everything. So you can expect, okay, well, Ryan's pushing up, so then you know to, like, you know, spread out and, you know, do that, like, disengagement or tell your supports to, like, play behind. So just make sure you're being, like, as way more vocal on just saying, like, who's coming at you, what you're focusing, like, what you just pretty much narrate what you're doing all the time, and that'll, like, help you out to start. That's what helped me. Like, all my coaches were just like, oh, just narrate what you're doing, because it's easier to dumb down your comms than to try and, like, build them up, like, little by little. So just start off with saying, like, everything that you're doing, just who you're focusing on, where you're jumping, what you want to do, and then that'll make it sure that everybody is, like, on the same page and, like, knowing what you want to do.
He's still low, he's low. I'm dead.
So in this, they just cycled their ults way better than what you guys are doing, so you
I'm
can't
cut
really
off.
do
I
anything.
have Ryan really low.
Oh,
But he's being healed.
Zari's low. Oh, grab.
I'm letting them boost it.
I'm walled off, I can't touch.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nice try,
We
guys.
just like completely stopped talking. I don't know.
Yeah.
We did.
Alright, so I'll just do those two, since it's probably gonna be around probably like kind of like I just like seeing like one of each. But you didn't do that. Like there's just a couple mistakes, you know, just being a little bit more like vocal, which a lot of people have like a problem with, and then just make sure you're saying like locations and like engagement callings.
Yeah.
But then I guess it's, you know, this was like a week old, maybe try and you can do like, you know, another VOD like somewhat, you know, recent or in the next like week, and just try and do what like all the little like things I just like told you to try and do, and then, you know, you can go back and we do another VOD review, and then you know, we can go from there. Because you didn't do like too bad, like, you know, the mechanics and stuff are fine. It's just that like team, you know, orientation, like for game knowledge and stuff that you just need like a little bit of help on.
Yeah.
Other than that, you did, you know, didn't do fine, but just make sure your team is letting you do target calling. Just be like, hey, this guy says I need to do target calls, because that's what main tanks need to do. And just like, if you don't like it, then, you know, I don't know, you might need to, as bad as it sounds, find like a different team, because it's not going to help you improve, and it's not going to help the other person improve, because they're not going to be doing that when they get, you know, onto a higher level team. So yeah, I don't know, that's just my 2 cents. You know, you can take it, throw it away, do whatever with it. But yeah,
It sounds like you survived last night, which is a plus.
oh yeah, barely, dude, barely survived. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully this kind of like helps you out a little bit on like some things that you need to work on, and then hopefully you can bring it into your own gameplay.
I mean, there's a lot of things I need to work on. Most of them involve Winston.
Yeah, Winston's probably like one of the harder tanks, since that's a lot more game sense and game knowledge, and then Reinhardt's kind of just mind games the whole time.
And then
But you pretty much will just learn Winston like in time with calling like these certain engagements, and you mess up once, then you know not to do that again type things. So, like I wouldn't be too stressed on if you're kind of playing him bad now, because as long as you just keep realizing like when you made a mistake or when you went too far and stuff like that, you'll be fine. But it'll also help if you just narrate what you're doing, so then your off tank knows to follow you up. Because if your off tank's with you, just do having matrix and stuff like that, then you'll probably have way more success anyways. So just keep telling them like to always follow you like 24/7.
Yeah. And I just need to build synergy with my off tank as well.
Yeah, do comp. That's what I did. Freaking with Guru and all my other like off tank players, just join in comp, and then you learn each other's like tendencies, habits, how far they want to go, like what they're comfortable with doing.
Yeah.
And that just help with. Even if you don't want to play on like mains, you just get on like alt accounts, and then you just practice like your dives. Like, and if you are losing games, you just, since it's alts, you don't really matter. You're just trying to focus on, what like your little goals or whatever for like that day. But yeah,
All right.
there you go.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I might have another one. We'll see.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, I'm halfway through a shit tier tournament right now, so.
Oh yes, dude. Record, then I don't know, like the next match or like the whatever the next day's stuff. So then you can use whatever kind of like a little bit of this knowledge, and then we can go back and just do another.
I might
whatever
steal
thought on Sunday.
Mr. Dink Dunk's idea and just get a post-it note and stick it under my monitor.
There you go. That's easy. I've used sticky notes for
just like remembering to do things.
Yeah. Like I've had like sticky notes on top of my monitor saying like call rotations, call regroups, like call engages. Like pretty much I just have those like sticky notes like on top of my computer. So every single time you're about to do an engagement, you're checking, you see it like on like your peripheral, so then you're like, oh shit, I should probably do this.
Yeah.
So doing sticky notes does help if you find yourself like doing the same mistake over and over again. So yeah, that's completely fine to do.
All right, go win games.
Yeah, now we have time for winning some games.
All right, thanks. See you.
Yeah, no problem, dude.
All right, thanks. See you.
Yeah, no problem, dude. All right, chat. There you go. That was the bot reviews. Now we go play